Hi, I'm Sean Darrington, Senior Director of Products here at OneBlox, and today I wanted to introduce you to the out-of-the-box experience of our OneBlox. So kind of walk you through what they'll look like to actually unpack it, the very simple, easy setup to be up and running in less than 5 minutes, and then how to quickly pair your OneBlox to do any advanced administration you may want to do with OneSystem, which is our cloud-based management service. So let's get started. So this is what OneBlox will actually be delivered to you in. This is a couple of drives that I have for a little bit later, but this is what it'll be delivered to you in, and it's very simple to actually begin to unpack and use. So in the package itself, you're going to have a number of things. Number one, an Ethernet cable. You'll also have a single power cord that'll come with the OneBlox. And lastly, you'll have the quick start guide here. This quick start guide is actually very simple and straightforward. There are only 5 steps to actually accomplish the task of getting OneBlox up and running. So let's go ahead and unpack the OneBlox. So you can take out the tray here, and then the OneBlox, it's not terribly heavy. It weighs about 18 pounds or so. But as you begin to unpack this, you can simply take off the feet. There are 4 feet already mounted to OneBlox if you'd like to have it on your desk, and you can actually stack multiple OneBlox on top of each other, and multiple nodes will create a single ring for more storage capacity. If you're an organization that actually has a room or a closet or a data center for racks, you can actually take these feet off and actually put rails to install it into a rack mount system. This is a 2U system, and there are 8 drive bays here, and you can populate any of these drive bays to get started with any capacity drives that you'd like to. You can actually also select your hard drives just from your local computer store. 500 gig all the way up to 4 terabytes are on the market today. So you can populate them as you'd like to with different capacities. I'm actually just going to put in a couple of 1 terabyte drives to get started. So you want to make sure that the label is facing up, as well as when you push the drive in, easily slide it in. Notice no carrier, no screws. Literally unpackage the drive and slide it in. And go ahead and push it all the way in, and you'll feel it kind of seat itself in the back there. So now I'm just going to take a second drive, and like I said, it doesn't have to be in any particular drive bay order. You just want to make sure the label is up and simply slide it in, push it all the way back, and close the door. Now, next step is to simply connect power and the Ethernet. If you're using a single Ethernet cable, go ahead and plug it into port 0. And for the power cable, it's as any standard 110 power cable. And now that I've got it plugged in both Ethernet, power, and 2 drives, I can simply turn it on, and now in a matter of minutes, I will actually see a public share on my network that I can actually notice and begin to drag and drop files and be able to use OneBlox in the beginning. So as this is starting up, what you'll see is when you'll see a couple of message status on the LCD screen here, you'll see that right now it's just saying starting up, please wait. It'll then change to actually show you the name of the OneBlox, and that'll actually be the name that you'll see on the network, where your public share and any other shares that you want to create to begin using. And now it's just a couple of minutes and you'll see it on the network. So here's the next status change that you see on the LCD. You see that now it says the host name, which is OneBlox-0069. And it says, please, we're starting up. Please wait a few moments. You'll also see it down at the bottom, the URL to actually begin to manage OneBlox, onesystem.exablox.com. And you'll also see an external IP address shown on the top of the LCD. That's if you want to begin to pair this system and you're not physically located next to or on the same subnet of the the OneBlox. The other key thing to notice on the LCD screen is in the top right corner, there's an internet connected icon. That means that the OneBlox on your premises is actually communicating with OneSystem, which is our cloud-based management service. And that's how we actually begin to give you the ability to manage users, permissions for different shares, as well as groups that you want to do if you want to integrate with Active Directory, and be able to do some of the other management tasks associated with OneBlox. So now it says the system is ready for use on the LCD screen. So we can do a couple things. Number one, we'll check and see here in the Finder view that here's OneBlox-0069. And as I double click on that, I actually see that there's a public share that is addressable and immediately available for me to begin reading and writing files to. There's also a snapshot folder. If you actually delete or have an error or a corrupted file, you can actually navigate into this snapshot folder for recovering. But that's a topic for another video. So I'm actually going to switch over to Google Chrome again. You can use any browser that you'd like to on a Mac or a PC, it doesn't matter. But now I'm just going to go to OneSystem, And I'm going to actually choose the OneSystem demo. And this is just simply because it's on a demo network and not the production network. If this is in a real environment for your own deployment, you would actually go to onesystem.exablocks.com. And so now in OneSystem, you have the ability to register as a user if you haven't already registered. And so you simply fill in your name, your email address, the company you'd like to use, and I'm going to call it Exablocks Demo, and then you choose a password. And then click on Register. Now what will happen is that you actually will get a email confirmation that will look like this. It will say, welcome to OneSystem by Exablocks, and to activate your account, click on this URL. So I click on that URL, and now I'm taken to the management interface here. So now my account is activated, and I can actually log in. So again, just the username and password that I selected, and log in. And so now what I do is I actually am introduced to OneSystem, and it says, welcome. Now you start by finding the devices on your network. And each of the OneBlocks can be clustered together in a scale-out fashion to comprise a ring. And this ring presents a global namespace or a single file system that applications and users can use. So let's get started to actually pair OneSystem, which is trying to communicate with OneBlocks here in my office. And I want to, again, verify that I have an internet connection by looking at the upper right corner of the LCD. Since I've already seen that, I'm going to go ahead and discover the rings. So now when you discover a ring, this is a way of doing a kind of a two-factor authentication or a strong authentication with OneBlocks, which you're trying to manage. And this is a way to say, yes, Sean, I'm able to manage the system. So I take a look at the 5-digit pairing code here, and I know that's 65855. So now I go back to OneSystem, and I actually enter the pairing code 65855. And now once I click register, it'll authenticate myself with OneBlocks as an administrator and OneBlocks as the device that I'm able to manage. And now I can begin to monitor my storage utilization. I can begin to give different users access to shares on the network, and I can begin to add different shares in addition to the public that's already enabled by default. And so now you're able to simply manage the storage, and this is a simple dashboard view of the node that we started here with OneBlocks. Remember, I put in two 1 terabyte drives, and so I have 1.7 terabytes available free space. So that was a quick introduction to unpacking and receiving your OneBlocks in your environment. Look to other videos to discover other things about how to manage through OneSystem, how to recover from snapshots, and other topics. This is Sean Darrington, Senior Director of Products. Thanks for watching.